Alright, everybody, here we are at Zolder. This is our Friday night practice races. This is race number 2. This is going to be the only practice race that makes it to YouTube tonight, or I should say this weekend. We will have a big race tomorrow, the Saturday night race, the final race in the points championship, and I know a lot of guys are excited about that. We have a pretty good field of cars here for race number 2. We've got John Snow, followed by Alex Moda, followed by Kyle Macedo, Evan Miller, Ken North, Scott Taylor, Eric Tong, Samuel Rock, David Macedo, Pedro Perez, and Jesse Albert. So that is our running order now. Jesse Albert and Pedro and David Macedo, all three of those guys missed qualifying. I think we know Jesse is quite a bit faster than several guys in the pack. So that's going to be interesting to see what he can do starting in the back. And we're going to be running, we're going to be running 20 laps tonight. So it's a 20 lap race. Zolder's a pretty challenging track. We've had a lot of action, I guess you would say, here because of the chicanes. Particularly the first chicane has caused a lot of problems for people. You see the guys starting to get going around the down the front stretch here. A lot of speed here. A lot of guys doing really well on this track. Some new guys who haven't been with us throughout the season but have been with us a couple of times. So we got some new faces, not brand new, but newer returning faces. And you look at Evan Miller and Ken North. Those guys are on the third and fourth row. Second and third row. Get that straight. Second and third row preparing for the race. And those guys haven't raced with us very much. Evan's been here a little bit more than Ken, but those are still newer drivers to the league, so interested to see what these guys can do. Same thing for Scott Taylor. Eric Tong, he's been with us quite a bit. And then you have the old faithful David Macedo, Pedro Perez. Those guys have been here pretty much from day one. Jesse has come and gone a little bit, but he's been a pretty consistent part of the group here lately. And we've got a good race tonight. I think it's going to be fun. Hopefully these guys can keep it nice and clean through the start of the race and put on a good show. So this is of course all preparation for Saturday's big race, which takes place tomorrow, and it'll be on YouTube probably 2 or 3 days after what you're watching right now. So see John slowing things down, kind of getting everybody formed up here as we come into the last chicane. We are going to watch from the overhead so we can get a good look at what's going on here. So you see John out in front. These guys are a little bit spread out right now. There's the green flag, so they're off and racing. John started a little bit ahead of everybody, so he got a good jump there. We see Kyle Macedo with a good burst of speed, comes up into third right behind Alex Moda. Meanwhile, Ken North moves into fourth in front of what looks like Eric Tong. Yep, Eric Tong. Scott Taylor behind him. Jesse Albert. Jesse Albert is all the way up there already. Let's take a look at how that happened, because he was all the way in the back. So here he is starting in the back. He's going to get immediately past David Macedo, who's on his brakes for some reason. Coming through these sweeping turns here, 3 wide, these guys coming in. Scott Taylor lunges ahead. Jesse's going to make the pass there. Closing in on Scott, coming through this set of corners. Jesse's showing a real burst of speed off the start. You see David Macedo trying to squeeze between Evan Miller and Pedro Perez back there. All right, let's get back to the front. So we got, our running order's all messed up. So we got John Snow in the lead. Alex Moda, Kyle Macedo, followed by Ken North, Eric Tong, Scott Taylor, and Jesse Albert. That's the front 7 right there. See Moda running in second. He's got Kyle Macedo behind him. See a little bit of a gap forming between Kyle Macedo and Ken North, so these front 3 guys are pulling away a little bit. John's got a little bit of a gap on Alex Moda. This right here, this is the dangerous part of the track. We've seen a lot of people make mistakes on that chicane right there. See some side-by-side racing back there between David Macedo. Oh, and David is off the track. Let's see what happened here. He's coming out of the turn. He gets a better run out of the turn on Scott Taylor coming over the hill. Coming into this chicane, he's just got too much speed and he's going to lose the rear end of the car. Lucky to keep it out of the middle of the track. Good job by him backing off so that nobody hits him. And he's going to fall all the way back to last place. You see there's position battles going on all throughout the field right now. None better than what's right in the front with this top 3 at the moment. Meanwhile, Jesse Albert has gotten past Eric Tong. He is up into 5th behind Ken North. And it looks like Scott Taylor got, oh, Eric Tong is in the pits already. Not sure what happened there, but he is in the pit. See Jesse reeling in Ken North here. Let's take a look on board with Kyle Macedo. Pretty good gap between him and Alex Moda, and John has kind of gapped Alex also, so the front 3 have kind of spaced out a little bit. You see Kyle nice and fast through there. Really good set of corners for him. got Jesse Albert, who's on the back of Ken North, trying to catch up to him. Jesse's come from last place all the way up to 5th already, making a huge amount of progress around this track. We got Pedro Perez running in 6th place right now. Scott Taylor behind him. Evan Miller is on Scott Taylor for 7th place right now. You see these guys coming into turn 1. Evan getting a little bit of a run, it looks like. A little bit better through there than Scott is. Oh, Scott gets a little loose coming through the sweeping right-hander right there. Meanwhile, Samuel Rock, he's falling back off of David, so that's no longer much of a battle there. Let's get back up here to Jesse, trying to catch Ken North. Ken North running a nice race in that Nissan so far. Holding on to 4th place right now. You see where Kyle Macedo has caught back up to Alex Moda, and John Snow has pulled away from both of these guys. He's got a little bit of an edge over these guys right now. I don't know if Alex has lost a little bit of the pace that he had before, or if John and Kyle are just getting faster and Alex is staying the same. Not 100% sure about that. You see Alex run a little wide there. Kyle follows him into the sand a little bit. Oh, and Alex is going to go around, coming over that curbing there. He did the same thing in race 1, but in race 1 he got into the wall really hard. So you see him coming into the chicane here. He's just going to catch too much of that curb with the car off balance going into it. Lucky to keep it out of the wall. That's going to put him into 3rd place. And now he's got Jesse Albert behind him. Jesse has gotten past Ken North. Ken's still on Jesse, trying to keep up with him here in the Nissan. So that's going to leave Kyle Macedo all alone with the chance to run down John Snow. Whether or not he can catch him, we'll find out. I know John is really, really fast here, and he's a very consistent driver. He's not an easy target to catch. So meanwhile, Alex is now 4.8 seconds off of Kyle, so a pretty big gap there. Jesse is 2.3 seconds off of Alex. Ken North is still 1.1 seconds off of Jesse Albert. See him running a little wide there in the Nissan. Oh no, he's going to get into the wall. That is going to mess things up for Ken North, and here comes Pedro up from behind. He's going to take the position. You see the damage on Ken's car there. Don't know how much that's going to affect how his car is driving, but that's definitely not good. He was running a really nice race too. Here you see Moda coming through that first chicane again. He's got to be sick about that chicane. That's the 2nd race in a row where he's lost it in almost the exact same way. Just hit the first curve too hard. When he hit the 2nd curve, the car was unsettled, and the car just came around on him. Oh, we got Scott Taylor off the track there a little bit. Let's take a look at what's going on here. So we got Evan Miller trying to catch Scott Taylor. And Scott just loses it through the chicane there. Oh, gets into Evan. Ends up off the track again. A little bit of damage to both cars, looks like. And now Scott Taylor has fallen back into the clutches of David Macedo, who's going to get around him. So David, he's caught up and then fallen back a couple of times throughout the race, so he's having a little bit of a hard time. You see Ken North heading into the pits there, probably to fix that damage on the Nissan. He looked like he was struggling a little bit after that incident. So let's get back up here. We got Jesse Albert still trying to hunt down Alex Moda. John Snow has actually pulled more of a gap on Kyle Macedo. It's up to, well, now it's back down. Time just changed, so it's 4.4 seconds. So Kyle's catching him slowly. You see Alex sending it over that curbing again back there. Everybody's spaced out a little bit now. Jesse's got it down to 3.0 on Moda. Pedro Perez running up in 5th. He's 7.5 seconds back, but the closest person to him is almost 9 seconds back. So Pedro looking good in 5th place right now. Take a look at him. He's coming into turn 1 right now. Take a look on board with John. You know, we've seen John run out front an awful lot this season. He's really, really consistent, really fast. And when he figures the track out, it was truly scary for everybody else, because with his consistency, once he figures it out, he's extremely fast. John's looking nice and smooth. He's got the gap to Kyle up to 5 seconds. So a 5-second gap right now to Macedo. Coming into the first chicane here. We are 8 laps into the race. You see on board with Alex Moda here. See Kyle up ahead there. Jesse's got it 3.1 seconds, so Moda's maintaining the gap on Jesse Albert right now. You hear that Lexus screaming. This thing is, it's probably the only car that's as loud as the Porsche. It just sounds like its hair's on fire while it goes around the track. Surely makes it fun to drive, but he's just trying to do anything he can to make up time on Moda. Well, we got David Macedo back here trying to take 6th from Evan Miller. He's got Scott Taylor right on his tail. So Scott Taylor here in 8th, looking at 7th and 6th places here. Something up in the front. John Snow is now in 2nd. He had a 5-second lead. Let's see what happened there. It's this first chicane. This is where everybody messes it up right here. John Snow coming through the first chicane, catches too much of the second curb, ends up off the track. We've seen it over and over and over again. John recovers, but now he's got Kyle all over him. Kyle's got a head of steam coming down the hill there, and John's gonna let him go. That's a good move by John. He was off the track, gave up the position, but now it's up to him to try to get it back. He was definitely faster than Kyle because he was pulling a gap on him. So we'll see what he can do now that he's behind him. Meanwhile, Jesse Albert. Oh, Jesse has caught all the way up to Alex Moda. How did that happen? Because he was still a couple seconds behind. Here you see, and Moda goes off in the sand. That's going to slow him down. Jesse's going to catch up to him coming over the hill right here. Coming into the second chicane. Hard into the braking zone. Gets a much better run through the second chicane. Ends up side by side with Moda. Trying to keep the rear end steady on that Lexus. Has to fall back a little bit in the sweeping right-hander. He's looking for any place he can stick his nose right now. He's coming down the inside, which turns into the outside. Coming around the outside, side by side. He's going to lose the rear end of the car. Almost spun it all the way around. And he's going to give the position back to Moda. Well, I guess he never took it from him, but Moda's going to hold on for now. Kyle still leading the race. He's got John right on him. Moda's got a little bit of a gap to Albert, just a little bit. We got these three guys are still battling here. You see Scott Taylor has taken the position from David Macedo. And I'm pretty sure just a second ago that was not the case. Maybe I'm wrong. Okay, so it's Miller, Taylor, and Macedo right now for 6th, 7th, and 8th. So these guys are all having a good battle back here. You see Ken North up there in front of them, but I think Ken is a couple laps down because of that accident he had in the pit stop that followed. So let's get back up to the front. We got John Snow all over Kyle Macedo. You see Kyle weaving a little bit back and forth. I guess trying to break the slipstream or something there, but regardless, John's right on him. Coming over the hill here, they're close together. We're at 10 laps. We're about halfway through this race. These guys have got quite a battle going on. You can see in the background back there, Alex Moda and Jesse Albert are still going at it. Kyle runs wide into the dirt there, or in the grass. Manages to hold on to it. But John is all over him. You get the feeling if Kyle makes a mistake, John is just going to take it with no challenge. It's not going to be too much. Kyle's got to settle down and hold on to a nice consistent racing line. John's not the most aggressive driver. He doesn't do anything too crazy to get past you, but usually his speed is enough to force you into a mistake. As you can see, he's keeping the pressure right on Kyle right now. Coming down into turn 1. Some good racing by all these guys. See the speed right here coming down into the first chicane. Both of these guys have had problems with that chicane. So has Alex Mota, as we saw earlier. So has a few other drivers. We've had some pretty big loss of positions because of that one spot in the track. Meanwhile, back behind, Alex Mota has finally lost the position to Jesse Albert. Let's see how that happened. Mota coming down here through this high-speed right-hand turn. Jesse's all over him. Jesse's going to move to the inside coming down this long stretch, and he either had a really good run or Mota let him go. I'm not sure which one. You see Mota almost lose it over the chicane there. So Jesse has been the fastest car on the track throughout this race. He has consistently caught people and passed people since the beginning of the race. And now that he's passed Mota, we'll see if Mota can keep up with him to try to go chase down the leaders. They are currently 7.8 seconds behind first and second. And first and second are only separated by 0.4 seconds. So these guys are really close. You see Kyle still maintaining the lead. Seems to be where John catches back up to him. There's a little bit more separation this time than there was in laps past. So you see John really send it over that bumper there again, get a lot of air coming off of that. These guys, despite the incidents that have happened with that chicane, they continue to really risk it right there. So see Samuel Rock there. He is one lap down. These guys are catching up to him as lap traffic right now. John gets right back on the rear end of Kyle Macedo. You see Kyle trying to break the slipstream again. Not really much happening there. Heading down the front stretch, just trying to get he's trying to do anything he can do to lose John Snow, and John is just biding his time for now. Just trying to hold on, wait and see if he'll make a mistake. You see John nice and tight through that right-hand turn right there. He's got his car set up nicely for this track. You see he's got a run on Macedo right now coming into this sweeping right-hander. Both of those guys are nice and quick through there. John once again right on him into this long braking zone. First chicane again. So you see Albert back there. Jesse is 7.1 seconds behind these guys, but the longer these guys battle it out, the more Jesse's going to catch him. And Alex is keeping pace with Jesse. He's still right behind him. We'll see if this can become a four-way battle for the lead here. see Moda, he's not quite on Jesse, but he's trying to keep pace with him. I mean, Moda can't be too upset about where he's... Oh, you see Jesse kind of drifting around the corner there. Moda can't be too upset about where he's at, considering he almost put it in the wall coming over that first chicane. He's pretty lucky to still be as high up as he is. Jesse going off the track there. It's going to allow Alex to catch back up to him a bit. Moda right on him into this braking zone coming into the first chicane. So we got two great battles going on. Battle for first and battle for third. Check back with these guys. Still a really tight battle here. Everybody else in the field has pretty much spread out, so we don't have any close battles that I can see anywhere. Pedro's now 18.2 seconds ahead of David Macedo in fifth, so Pedro's pretty secure there. Alex, there you see him drifting around that corner. You see the rear end of the car just sliding around that turn. It's going to cost him a little bit of time. Jesse's going to gap him a little bit here. Let's get back up to the front. John all over Kyle coming through the first chicane. Maybe a little bit too close to him. When you're coming into that first chicane, if you're right on somebody, it's hard to place your car properly so that you can get through there smoothly. It's such a dangerous set of curves. It's easy to lose your car right there. So when you're right behind somebody, it's really hard to make that judgment of where your tires are going to be and make it through there. You see John just looking for any spot he can make a move on Kyle here. Makes a move almost to the corner, gets on the outside of him coming down the front stretch. But that's not going to really work coming into turn one, so he gets a nice run through there though. Looked like he had to back out of it a little bit there. You see John nice and tight through that turn all race long. He's got that one figured out. And now into this fast right-hander here into the long straight. Gets a good run out of there. See John really catch a lot of that curve coming through the first chicane there. Got about 4 laps to go, so this battle is going to have to sort itself out, or we'll see if Kyle can hold on. Jesse is now 5.0 seconds behind, so he's gaining on these guys quite a bit. Just a lap or so ago, it was 6-point-something seconds, so he's gaining on them. The fact that they're battling, I think, is slowing them down a little bit. You know, Kyle using the defensive line is slowing him down, and then John being stuck behind Kyle is slowing John down. So I think these guys are losing more time than they would be to Jesse otherwise. See Kyle get just a little bit of separation there coming down the front stretch. John catches him every lap in that same spot. By the first chicane, they're right on each other again. Lap after lap after lap. See Kyle taking a defensive line down the inside. That's just going to slow him down even more. It's going to allow Jesse to catch up to both of these guys with him playing defense like this. That's going to slow his lap times down. It's going to slow John down, and it's going to allow Jesse and Alex Moda to keep catching these guys. You know, I would say John must be getting desperate by now, but John doesn't really get desperate. He's a pretty chill guy, pretty relaxed for a race driver. You see him coming alongside a little bit here. Ooh, really close there. Gets the inside. That's that turn he always takes so tight. Still on the inside. He's going to get into Kyle. He's going to run him off the road a little bit there. And John is going to let him go back by. Good move by John not to take the position like that. That's not how you want to do it. But this battle is slowing these guys down so much that Jesse has now got it down to 2.8 seconds. So he is looming large behind these guys. You see him just absolutely send it over that chicane back there. He went straight over the curbing that time. He is making progress on these guys at a really fast rate as they continue to battle. See John run a little wide there. Alex Moda has fallen back, so it's basically a three-car race at this moment. These guys still battling for first, and Jesse catching them at a very quick pace. Look on board with Jesse Albert. He's got it down to 1.3 seconds. Excuse me, 1.199. He's closing in on these guys in a hurry. Coming into this first chicane here. Oh, Kyle's gonna, Kyle got into the curbing there. Got loose. Let's take a look at that from the other camera. Kyle in the lead. Only one lap to go in the race. He's gonna hit the curb. He's airborne, loses the rear end of the car a little bit, and then runs over into John, and John just runs right through him. Nothing he could do there. And that is going to put Kyle out of the race, and it's going to give Jesse the lead of the race. Didn't even see how that happened. Let's go back and... So while all this was going on, Kyle's losing control, gets into John. John holds onto it, but Jesse comes around the outside, which turns into the inside, takes the lead of the race. There's only one lap to go. This is the last lap, excuse me. This is the last lap, so I don't know if John's even got time to do anything with Jesse Albert right now. Meanwhile, Alex Moda is quite a ways behind these guys, so he's looking at third place. Here they come down the stretch to get the checkered flag. Jesse's going to come away with the win. Great race by him to go all the way from last to first place. Really impressive there. Here comes Pedro. He's in fourth place, coming down to get the checkered flag. We know Kyle Macedo is out of it, so let's... Wait, is he out of it? Yeah, he's out of it. So Scott Taylor is being shown in 5th place. He's crossing the line. Evan Miller behind him in 6th place with David Macedo behind him. Just a couple turns left here. These guys have been battling all race, these 3 cars right here. So it ended up being Scott Taylor, Evan Miller, and David Macedo at the end there. Ken North has already finished. Everybody's finished. Okay, so let's take a look. Let's take a look on board. As you guys know, I always say a great race starts with a great clean start. So here we are, Jesse Albert all the way in last place. Now we know David's going to bail out of the start here. He's going to move over and literally hit his brakes and just let everybody go by. So he's a non-factor as far as the start goes. There he goes. But Jesse quickly gets up on these guys. These are the 3 guys who battled throughout the race here. Oh wait, no, that was David was with them also. And some of the guys who battled all race long are battling here in the first lap. You see how tight things are up front. You see Jesse on Scott Taylor here. So Jesse right now is in 7th place, I believe, in the first lap. Yeah, 7th place, and he's going to end up winning this race. So really impressive by him to come away with that win. Guys, I appreciate you watching. Thanks for joining us. It was another good race, another good night of racing. Didn't end for some people the way they'd hoped. No doubt Kyle is upset by the way his race finished. It's a beautiful race by him. He actually ran a fantastic race. Just on the last lap, ended up getting into the wall there. But otherwise, a great race by him. Good race by all of these guys. You can see where for Saturday, tomorrow's race, that first chicane is going to probably decide the race for most of these guys. If they can get it right for a full hour-long race, keep the mistakes to a minimum, that's how they're going to win this race, because we saw every car except Jesse Albert. We saw everybody else wipe out right here on this first chicane. So anyway, please join us for Saturday's race. It'll be out in a couple of days, probably Monday evening. It'll be on YouTube, and hope you guys enjoy it. Thanks for joining us.